All right, what's going on, everybody? First off, if my mic goes out, somebody stop me or just say we can't hear you or something, and I'll just fix it up. But welcome to the chart analysis. I'm excited to get doing this again because I used to do this about 6 years ago. I would hop on the markets. I'd have dozens of people on there with me asking me to look at a certain pair. I give them my opinion on it, tell them what the potentials are, what it could do that night based on what I know in the markets. And a lot of people made a lot of money. I made some money. It was a good time. I eventually let go of it due to life circumstances, and I had to make changes. And I let go of the market a few times just because of the things that my wife and I do with our family and how we travel and live under God. But it came back into our life, and I'm a big believer if you let something go, and if something's in your life and you can't get rid of it, and no matter how much you try or how many times you let it go, it just constantly stays in your life without you trying. That's God sending you a message to say, like, yo, like, this is supposed to be here. There's something here for you to learn. There's something here for you to utilize and bring on to your next journey. Like, pay attention, be aware. And that's been the Forex markets for me. I've let it go multiple times, like I just said. And no matter what I've done, it has always made its way back to me, and I can't escape it. Everything I do revolves around the markets. Um, and it's cool because my wife and I, we are focused on the soul, and we help people redeem themselves and get back into a higher state of being so that they can be a more amplified version of themselves to be living an aligned life. I'm not sure how many of you actually checked out our website, but we're big believers in that. And it's cool because learning more about yourself taught me more about the markets overall. Because if you know how to control, if you know how to make money in the markets, you know how to control your emotions, you know how to be aware of your own psychology, you know how to take proper risks, right? It's like little things inside the market that we don't tend to think about outside of the market because we don't think the two are correlated. We don't think life and Forex are correlated, but they are. So if you know how to set a foundation inside of Forex, you guys can do the exact same thing inside of your own life. And that's kind of what I want to start implementing here. That's not going to be like the main thing of what I'm doing, but you guys will start seeing of how we talk, what we go about, the questions you ask, the way I answer it. Hopefully you guys start to see some sort of similarities in your life and in Forex and trading in general, so that you guys can start making some really good decisions and ultimately affect your personal life and your bank account. So with that getting started, my background in Forex is I started trading in 2015. I initially started with the market maker method, which is what this dashboard that we're going to be taking a look at is based on. And let me actually just share my screen so that it's actually there so we can start it. So this is the market maker method dashboard. And I initially learned this method back in 2016. So I got started in 2015, did the basic stuff, went on Forex, babypips.com, Forex Factory, did a bunch of YouTube videos, and eventually found somebody that had some winning methods. But me being the ADHD person that I was, I would try to hop from, method to method, trying to see what the differences were. Maybe I can take all the methods and combine them into one mega method and like build an indicator off it. Like, I had all those dreams and aspirations that every single person does coming into the market. So um, it's interesting. And what I was able to realize is that all of the biggest, most successful people do one thing. They stick to one method and they stay consistent with it. So the reason I'm doing this chart analysis again, and I want to share this with you guys so that you see why I'm doing it. It's not just for some money-making opportunity or just because I just out of the blue randomly decided to do it. There's a reason. So a few weeks ago, I was into institutional trading, and I was doing a bunch of research, and I was back testing and studying, and I just felt this overwhelming call in the midst of all that craziness to go back to my roots of what I initially started learning, which is the market maker method. And I had Steve Morrow's handbook. For those of you that know it's Steve Morrow, he was the guy that initially released the market maker method. And I studied his ebook. I went into the peak formations. I started looking into the pivot points and started having revelations of everything I used to do back testing on several years ago. And it just got me super motivated. And I went on YouTube to look up some key aspects of that ebook and just diving deeper into what it's about, which led me to some YouTube videos by the guy Nick, who initially built the dashboard, and which led me to the marketmakersmethod.com website. And that's when I found the dashboard. And I was looking at it, got super excited, and I was like, babe, we need to try this right now. Like, we need to get this thing moving right now, because I started getting excited because I know the market maker method. I know what to look for. And when I was showing me these peaks, I was like, dude, like 75% of my work is done right now. Like this is going to be super simple. So we got the dashboard, and I started trading on a demo account just to test it out. And within the last 2 weeks, using proper risk management and kind of just taking not crazy trades, I did about 17%, which is really, really good. And I was getting super picky for the first time in my life. I was getting really picky on the pairs. And it's cool because before I would just stick to one pair or two pairs, and I'd just sit there and try to force a setup to be there, or to have to wait for something to be there. And I always wanted to be in the market. But what this allows me to do is it allows me to look at all the currency pairs and find the best formation based on the setups that I look for. And I'll show you guys the best ones as I go through and explain to it too. But it just made life so much easier. And now as we were doing this, I got a hold of the owner, Al. I'm not sure if you guys know who he is, but he's the one that owns the software right now. Talk to him about collaborating, and we're working on something right now. I don't want to put too much detail out there yet, but just know something big is being worked on. And it's going to benefit everybody, and it's going to be a super fun time. And it's going to start right here with this chart analysis. This is the first one. It's going to expand into something better, something bigger. And I think everybody's thoroughly going to enjoy it, because they're going to start seeing the markets from a cool perspective. So with that being said, oh, someone's coming in. With that being said, let's get into it. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm trying to figure out what I want to show you first, because I don't have a script for this, mind you. This is all off the top of my head. This is how I always used to do it. So I feel like I wanted to show you guys the trades I took last week and why I took them, because they were pretty solid trades, right? So this is the template that I use on MT4. I use two platforms. I use MetaTrader 4 and I use TradingView. I use TradingView for certain aspects of being able to zoom out a little bit more, maybe use an indicator, like knowing where premiums are, where discounts are. Those are institutional terms of just knowing when price is way overbought. It's kind of like the RSI. But I'll use it just for a double confirmation. But I've recently been sticking to the market, the template here. This is a custom template. You guys, I think Nick offers it on his website, whatever it is, but you guys can get this template too. So one of the trades I took last week was CAD Chef. I remember this one specifically, and I'll show you guys why I took it. And then we'll go into the pairs tonight. And if you guys have any questions as I go ahead and just type it in the chat, and I'll get to it once I'm done saying what I'm saying, and then I'll go to it. So, and if there's any pairs you guys want me to look at according to the dashboard, because I'm going to go through the check marks, but if you guys want me to look at a certain pair, just let me know, and I'll go into it and give you my best detail that I know of. But so last week we saw this pair, right? So here, right here is the peak formation low, right? This is a head and shoulders. You got the left shoulder here. I'm going to draw a circle so you guys can see it. It's an inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder here, head, and then you have essentially the right shoulder area being this section right here. And on top of that, everywhere that there is a divergence, or everywhere that there is a head and shoulder or an inverted head and shoulder, there is divergence, right? So you have that divergence starting from this point here going up. So the price is going down, but RSI is going up. That's divergence. That's essentially my go-to for knowing that price needs to reverse. Do I take the trade because I see that this is a reversal, or because this is lower and that this is higher? No, I don't do that, because that's predicting what the market could do. And let me tell you how many times I tried to predict the reversal before it happened and lost my money. I blew so many accounts. I flipped $100 to $3,000 in 2 weeks, and I blew that $3,000 in one night trying to predict the reversal, thinking I could get ahead and capture all of these gains, right? And Yeah, that hurt. That was a punch to the gut right there. And from then on out, I never did it ever again. And that's where I started learning about break of structure. So essentially, I saw that this was the peak formation. I saw that there was divergence, and all I needed to do from there on out was wait for the push up, which came here. Right, I didn't take this trade, right, because this day happened, and then the peak formation was formed after this day happened. It doesn't just make that low and then say, oh, it's a peak formation. It happens the day after. It needs to wait for a specific break of the high, which was this high right here. And once it broke, we had a solid confirmation. So this is what we would call like a safety trade. And if you've ever seen the market maker method by Steve Morrow, a safety trade is essentially when you get a solid reversal, you get a level 1 push, break of structure on the high here. And all you have to do is wait for a stop hunt low, which was essentially a higher low, right? Because you have the low here, lower low, but now you have a higher high. And then all you need to do is based on market structure, which goes like this, right? Sorry for sloppiness. You need to wait for this higher low. And that's all the stop hunt is. A lot of people like to get excited and they think, oh, it's Asian session, let me buy it here. And they buy prematurely thinking it's going to go up. And that's where they get stopped out. There's dead gaps, there's zones, there's time periods where spreads open up, where banks open up. And when they open up, the price tends to move very hard in a certain direction. That's why you see London session moves, which is right here coming out of the box, that there is that push down. And if you've ever seen the market maker method handbook, there's things called vectors. There's 3 pushes to the wrong direction. And that's to induce sellers. In this case, to induce sellers to the downside because they think, oh, it's still a downtrend on a higher time frame, right? Because I mean, if we look at we zoom out, it's a downtrend, right? It's clear downtrend. So most people are thinking sell, sell, sell. And anybody that's up here, it's like, oh, it hit the water, or oh, it didn't break that high, or it broke this high. Maybe it's just a higher or a lower high. Maybe I can just sell it down to the recent low for a multi-day W and just buy it from there. Like all these things they tell themselves in their mind, which is all bullshit. So like essentially, all you need to do is just realize that once a break of structure happens after a solid peak formation of divergence here, you just need to wait for the push down. You want the push down to happen because if you don't have that push down, you have no manipulation. You need to realize that you got to think like a banker. You got to think like an institution. If you want to win, you have to move the market in ways that's going to make people think that they're winning. So if you want people to sell, what are you going to do? You're going to push the market at least 3 hard times in one direction, because anybody that sees this big candle in the midst, mine is, this is an hour candle. Anybody that sees this big 1 hour candle, break of structure in the low, they're thinking they're missing out. So all this big candle tells me is that there's sells. People are selling, 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 and then they're going to start manipulating the market, and then they're going to start buying. So essentially, I waited for this. All I did was wait for this typical market movement to happen, and I waited. I got in at 2 positions because I entered in multiple times. I got in early one of them. They extended the push down, which is completely fine, but I got in a little early right here, and I took a picture of that. I think I posted the picture inside the group, but I saw this, ready? So I saw the shark fin, and the shark fin's in the ebook if you guys don't know that. I saw the shark fin, which was the divergence from this point here. Price was going down, RSI is going up. I saw the shark fin, it came back down. I entered right here on the W formation right there, and I wrote it. So I essentially held it until it did another stop hunt low to take out my low. By the way, my stop loss was on this method. Your stop losses are going to be, depending on the setup, could be a little bit big. Now, if you want to be safe, people can typically place their stop losses 15 to 20 pips beneath the low. So where I entered right here, this would be considered the low. So I would take this and go down 15 to 20 pips, right? So you could place your stop loss about here. I'll draw a line about there. That would be where my stop loss would be. Or depending on how far price got pushed up away from the peak, I could put my stop loss just a little bit beneath the actual peak formation, because if you know the market structure, you know that once the peak formation is set, price is not going back down there, especially during this. I saw this and I was like, okay, price isn't going to go back down here at all. Let me place my stop loss like 20 something pips away just to be safe. And that's what I did. It came down. I saw it up to it shot down again. And once it hit this candle point, I re-entered because I was like, this isn't going down. Like, this is all manipulation. I saw that big candle. This one formed like that. And I entered again right there, especially since price was still within inside the volatility bands. And I wrote it. I wrote it to here. This was Friday. I took it to the high. I think I took it out just a little early because the market was finishing up. I took my profit right at this candle. No, right here. That's where I took it, right? And this is what we call a safety trade. So from my lowest point down to my highest point, it was about 47 pips. That's solid. That's all you really need. I mean, if you can get used to getting certain movements, right, of just price, doesn't have to be a lot, and you start getting consistent with it, it's going to start getting to a point where you're able to just up the lots, and now you're trading in the aspect of catching 10, 20 pips and you're making $20,000, $30,000. Like, it all varies. It all depends on your bank account, it all depends on liquidity, your leverage. You can use prop firms, it doesn't matter. It starts getting interesting, but you have to develop that consistency first. And this is why I believe the dashboard is super effective, because it just points out where those peak formations are, especially this. Like, this was literally a picture perfect setup for me. This is exactly what I would be waiting for. If I saw this setup, a break of structure high, bro, I'm waiting for price to shoot down outside of the volatility band, to come back in, show divergence. I'm loading the lots. That's it. That's game over. You could take this one trade, and like Steve Morrow says, you could be done for the month. Shit, you could be done for the year. I know a trader out that was in Dubai. His name is Hamilton. He managed billions for Charles Schwab, and he had a $400 million deal with Johnson & Johnson a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. But the point is, like, they take trades and they go to the beach. That's what he called it. Could take a trade, go to the beach. And these guys, all these big time guys trade off of, they trade off of the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. What we're doing here is we're fractalizing what they do on a higher time frame, and we're capturing the movements in between. Because if you can capture the movements on a smaller time frame based on what the higher time frame's telling you, you guys are going to make a shit ton of money. It just requires patience, precision, and timing on it. Like, what's literally all that is. And if you can master your emotion, master your psychology, you're going to do really well. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking about this trade that I took last week. I just wanted to give you guys like just what I was looking at when I saw it. And now we're going to get into what we're looking for tonight, because this is where things are going to get interesting. So it's now officially, it's technically Monday, but it's Tuesday in the market right now. So I like to organize this first. So I'm just going to go down the list. I don't really look at silver and the commodities right now, just because they're volatile. I don't have a problem with volatility. I just like the market, the currency market's a little bit better. So I'm going to go to AUD, NZD, and show you my method of this. So, okay, give me a sec. This is all raw. I don't have a specific way of looking at it. Now, this is a peak formation low. I don't really like this one, just because of, there was the break up to the high, right? So you had downtrend here, and then you had the structure that was broken right here to the upside. This could just be a higher low, right? So this could just be the low right here. Draw it out. This could be a peak formation, and then this one could just be a higher low, which would be the other peak formation. So if I was looking for buys on this, I would probably wait another day. This is the 4 hour. The daily, the daily looks solid. So if I'm going to buy this, I'm going to be looking for a pullback down and then a sharp move. So now I'm going to go to here, right? Now, mind you, like I said, I look at the dashboard real quick just to see where the peak formation is. I get a little overview of the market, and then I switch over to either TradingView or MT4. So in this case, I'm going to go to MT4 because I'm just super used to it. So let's go to AUD NZD and see what we're looking at. Okay. So looks like we had the peak formation here. This was a W. We have a double bottom. Price was divergent going up. It broke the little high here, which was, this was the market structure, right? It needed to break here to be a level one. So this is all level one. If this is a peak formation, that means all of this is level one. Now, if you guys have ever looked at the EMAs and how to use it, price tends to go in between the EMAs while it's making its reversal. So if the EMAs like this, like see how spread apart they are? Like the blueberry, the 800 EMAs up here, the Mayo's right here, the water's right here. They're all spread out. When that happens, all that indicates to me is that the market is going to be volatile and there's going to be big movements, especially on a reversal. So notice how when price was at its lowest point here, look how far it moved. It first went into, it broke the water, it came back, it bounced on the water, then it hit the Mayo, and then it rode the Mayo, and it went up a little bit. Now it's riding in between it again, right? It's in the Asian session. So if I'm going to trade this pair, I'm going to be looking for this. I'm going to mark it up like this. Push down. I'm going to change the color to aqua. Nope, bad color. Horrible color. I think yellow's fine. It sticks out, whatever. So I'm going to wait for a push down, however far that is, I don't know. And then I'm going to be looking for the buy up. And my first take profit is going to be based off the recent high, okay? And I say that because let's say price does go a little bit higher. What's the first place it has to go to? The high. It has to at least touch that high because it needs to form a higher high before it drops back down to form a higher low. So if you want it to be safe, I would place my take profit at the recent high. If not, if you wanted to go a little bit higher, you could place it at the blueberry. Remember, look how it just looked at it bounced off the EMAs here. It was riding them. It's going to do the same thing. I think if this is a peak formation, then it's going to go even higher. And based off the ADR indicator that I have here, see how it's the ADR high, the ADR low. This is a 196. So if divide that by 2 or 3, what's the math on that? 60 something pips, 63 pips, 62 pips, I think. So 62 pips, yeah. That's how much it could move in a day. And let's see, if I go down from here up to here, look at that, 58 pips. So that is essentially the ADR move. And it can be, that could adjust and it could go higher than that. But the point is, you're not touching this pair for a buy until you see hard pushes down where this RSI, and let me show you what I've seen this RSI I've been using this shit for since 2016. I've memorized it. If you were going to want to buy this, the RSI is going to look like this. It's going to go down. It's going to come back in. It's going to drop again. And then it's going to go up. It's going to be oversold, right? Because it's in the 32, 37 mark. This is the oversold zone. Price is going to go down like this. And then it's going to reverse. And you're going to catch that buy. And then you're going to have what we call divergence. Just like that. That is the ideal setup. That is what you're waiting for. If you don't see that, don't trade it. Don't try to guess. Don't try to hope. Don't try to wish. I've done that so many times. And trust me, you win some, but you lose more. It's not fun. You're trying to beat the fucking gamblers at their own game. So that's what I would be looking for. And I'll post pictures of what I believe these pairs are going to do in the group chat too. But it's just going to look like this. You guys are getting a treat right now because I don't think I'm going to put that recording or this recording in the chat. I think I'm just going to post the pictures and you guys can be the testimony of it was worth it or don't go on there. He's a piece of shit. Like, so that's up to you guys. That's not up to me. But that's what I'm looking for. So is there any questions on that? Does anybody do you guys get where I'm coming from, what I mean before I move on? Eventually, I'm just going to be flying through these, and eventually you guys are just going to be pretty much like right there with me, and you're going to be like, he said, don't wait. He said, wait till here. Don't do that. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. What's the next pair? Oh, we got a question. Got it. Okay, sweet. All right, AUD USD. Let's take a look. All right, so it's got a peak formation low. Ooh, I like this already. Okay, cool. Let's look at this. Let me go to the 1 hour. Yes. Oh, okay. I might trade AUD USD tonight because this is fucking magical. By the way, I curse. Sue me. I don't care. So first off, what do you guys see? Here's a little training session. Why would I like this? Why would I like this trade? If you guys can remember what I said about the CAD Chef pair, why would I like this trade? What am I looking at right here? Somebody answer me. Come on, it's obvious. What am I looking at? Everything I just said on the one pair is like the exact same setup. Anybody? Don't be shy. No, there's no wrong answers. I'll just laugh at you if you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. That's horrible. Or you can type it. Somebody get engaged. Huh?
Talking to yourself.
I am talking to myself, god damn it. It's a bunch of mirrors. There's mirrors everywhere. And laughing. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's just like, I don't know the answer, so I'm just gonna laugh. Okay, you guys laugh. All right. So this is what I'm looking for. This is what I see right here. I see a message. You looking for a retracement for level 2? Yes, I am. But why? And I'm gonna explain why. First off, and this is the first thing I always look for. My eyes are just used to it. Oversold divergence with a shark fin. Divergence that way, right? Price going down, RSI going up. Beautiful. What does that indicate? An inverted head and shoulders. Inverted head and shoulders. So, or a divergent W, doesn't matter. Essentially, this was the level 1 push. Let me circle it. Level 1. So just to let you guys know, a shoulder doesn't usually happen after a level 1 push. It usually happens before that. But in this case, I can technically deem it because this head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders is taking multiple days. This is essentially a week. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. What's going to be 5? You got 5 trading days. That's a week. So this is a level 1 push. And why is it a level 1 push? Because this high was broken. This is the high. It's not a level 1 push until there is a new higher high on the trading. So now that we know that this is the peak formation, all I'm looking for, drum roll please, is a push down to induce sellers and then buy. And you know where I'm taking this? Yeah. Look what the blueberry matches up with. It matches up with the ADR high. That's beautiful. That's perfect, man. That's literally, and if you want to be super safe, you go to the recent high. Take profit 1, recent high. Take profit 2, ADR high. It's not going to go higher than that. If it does go higher than that, it's going to be a swing trade. But I'm not going to lie, I like taking my profits and just securing the bag. And if it's going to continue in that direction, my ass is going to enter the next day. I'm going to do the same shit all over again. So here's the thing. Now, there are concepts that you have to also know, right? Because everything I'm saying is correct, but the moves can happen earlier based on the pair. You're starting to sound like Steve Marno. Sign your wife. Hey, I don't care. Let me get a drink of water real quick. You got a swig. I'm cooler. It's okay. So now what I said is the pair. So you have different sessions, right? You have Asian session, you have London session, and you have New York session. Those are the three top sessions. They are the most volatile, most traded sessions in all of Forex. What we're looking at right now is an AUD USD pair, meaning AUD Australian dollar, that's an Asian session pair, and you have the dollar, which is a New York session pair. So you're looking at in this case, air high can be an exit point. Yeah, exactly. It can be an exit point. Absolutely. Because once price hits that, and what I've done over my back test research is once it hits that ADR high, it does this. It goes, it's the ADR high, and it rides the line because that's where they stop out. That's where all the money's going to be held up. And then the next day, stop on low, and they redo the whole thing all over again based on the level. So since this is an Asian pair and this is the Australian dollar, this move that I just said that I'd be looking for a shot down could happen sooner because of it being in the middle of Asian session. That's what these boxes are, right? See these blue boxes? This is the whole Asian session area. And I usually like to trade London session going into New York, depending if I'm up. But what this is telling me is that this could actually prepare. But here's the thing. I don't see a shark fin. I don't see a hard push. I don't see any of that. Now, will it always do a hard push? No. Sometimes price will just decide to go like this and then just go up, right? With no inducement because they have enough contracts. They'll only do this move right here where there's no trap if and only if they have enough money trapped down here. Because why else would they need to do that? Unless they're greedy and they want more money. But you want to stick to the simple things. Don't try to overthink, because I'm telling you guys, if you try to buy too soon, and this is my problem that I had years and years ago, I would be right. I would be telling this all to everybody. I'd be doing this exact same thing, telling everybody what to look for. And then my ass would still enter early and I get stopped out, margined out, because I was too greedy and too impatient to wait for the specific sign that tells me look for the buy now. So here's my thing. If it doesn't show me a shark fin, if I don't see a shark fin, I'm not touching it, because it just means that there's no manipulation. That's all the shark fin shows, is that it's showing manipulation. Like, look at this, for instance. Look at this shark fin. Hard push move up. And then what they do? Hit the stops. They shot up. They either hit the stop losses of people selling, or they induced buy stops for people buying. And they took a buy, and then they put their stop loss at the recent consolidated state right there. And now they're all sitting in drawdown, freaking out because their fucking bank accounts or their broker accounts are sitting at negative red lines, like margining out right then and there, or their stop loss about to get hit. And I can tell you that if there are buyers in here, which there are, and they have enough of them up there, this is what 100% what they're going to do. They're going to go boop, and they're going to just go up, and all these people are going to look like this. They're going to be sad. And then some of them might end up like this because of depression and not knowing how to control their damn emotions, because they don't have soul work. And that's what AlignedFx is about. That's our private group, is AlignedFx, is so that you don't become this guy. No. Suicide does not work. Trust me. So we're not about that. We're anti-suicide. We're pro-life. So you guys are going to just be pretty much waiting for a hard push down, letting you know, hey, there is inducement. And when you see that shark fin, if you have this TDI, that's when you start looking for buys. That's it. If you don't see it, don't touch it. So I'm going to draw it out. Boom. Skadoosh. Going up that way. And if that move happens, guess what? You just caught 75 pips. You're going to be a happy camper, happy trader. So let's see. What have you guys been saying? Do you think the Fed's announcement this week can invalidate this analysis? No. News is bullshit. And I say that because they hide the moves inside the market like that, inside the news. or they hide the price movement inside of the news because price is very predictable, and they're going to do this exact motion every single time because they know that well, they have to stick to it. They can't just defer from it because of where contracts are. You got to realize these institutions are in constant drawdown. All they're looking for is how do we mitigate our losses so that we get out of drawdown. They literally, all they're doing when they move price in every direction, they are going to where they are in drawdown in. And when they go into where they are in drawdown, they will manipulate the market to a specific retail chart pattern, and then they will manipulate price to stop out the people who don't know what they're actually doing and then move it back in that direction. So as they're going back down to get the money that they're in drawdown in, they are also making money. They are constantly forming more drawdown for themselves while also simultaneously being in profit. They are so much money. That's why Forex is the biggest market in the world. $6.5 trillion a day. You shitting me? They have enough to be able to sustain lifetimes. There's more money than you guys could even count ever. We would never be able to count. Googleplex, look up that number. It's literally one with what, 1,000 zeros at the end of it. So like, it's ridiculous. The next question. The matter, oh, you already said the new, yeah. If anything, all news does is for the brokers, believe it or not. The brokers like to use news in their favor because they, guess what they do? Guess what happens to the spread when the news happens, when non-farmers payroll comes out, when CPI comes out, when something tragic or something in parliament comes out for the GBP USD or GBP, all this stuff, right? They open up their spreads, depending on if the broker is regulated or US based or, you know, Virgin Islands based, whatever it is, it all depends on where they're at. But if they don't have strict regulations, bro, these brokers can open up the spreads and hit your stops without price actually ever going down there, or they'll manipulate the candle where it'll be a blue candle right here. And then you have a red candle that starts like down here, or the blue candle, the next bullish candle starts all the way down here, hits your stop loss, and then it goes up into that area. That would be the only thing that people would do, but then guess what? They're still going to go in that direction because that's price. It has to follow its rules. They're not going to break that. So that's why anybody always says, like, if you want to be safe, just don't trade news. But if you have the leverage and you have the knowledge and you have the right broker, I'd say don't let news scare you. It's honestly, if you know what you're looking at, it's just going to push price in the right direction for you. Truly. You know, is there only one way to make all this predictable shit seem unpredictable? Is that a serious question? Is there only way to make this?
It was a statement, not a question.
Oh, I
It
read
was
that wrong. It's, I said is, my dyslexic ass. So is. And then this one is brokers use it to liquidate traders across spread. There you go. There you go. So you guys know, you know the deal. All right, so that's what I'm looking at for here. Then we got, and I'm only looking at the ones with the gold check mark. Now, I can look at like USD CAD, not gonna lie. USD CAD does look solid. The only thing is this was a gold check yesterday. So just because you gotta look at this, right? Just because there's not a gold check doesn't mean there's not a setup. It just tells you that there's a new trend. So if there's a gold check one day and the next day it's gone, which is fine, that doesn't mean that this pair is still not valid. It just means that the new trend that it supposedly created, it's not brand new anymore. It's now a day old. So in this case, if this is a peak formation high 2 days ago, in my mind, anything that's like beneath 4 days is solid, because sometimes it takes a minute, it takes a day or two for the peak formation to truly set and then make the move up to break structure and form a pattern, right? So knowing that this was USD CAD, and I'll just go quickly over this one. I like this because first off, if you guys are institutional based and you know how they look at the market, first off, you got equal highs here, right? So you have what most people, this is retail shit. You have a high here and high here. This is pretty much a divergent W or M, I'm sorry, right? So what happened was people see the price went up just a little bit higher, and then they see this divergence. But the old me would be like, yo, this is it. This is my moment. I'm about to be freaking Wolf of Wall Street on these brokers. They're gonna hate me. And I would get in right here. I'd be like, I'm selling. And I'd be in profit, tough shit. Like I'm the man. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna catch this whole move. Watch me. I'm gonna be on freaking have my own show. I'm gonna catch that whole move. That's what I'd be telling myself, hoping that I'm good. And that's when they manipulate the markets. Because here, this isn't even like a solid formation. This has nothing to do. This is ugly to me. This doesn't tell me anything. This just tells me they're consolidating price and they're going to come up a third time. And what they do in institutional trading and what Steve Morrow calls a stop punt is they will break the equal highs or equal lows, doesn't matter, to form a higher high only to trap. Let me move these people. Damn it. Only to trap and hit the stop losses of the people that got in on this chart pattern called the double top, the double M, or the double M. The double top or the M. They all got in early because this is literally that's basic retail shit. But what they did is they went up a third time, hit the stops, hit the buy stops of the people thinking it was going to be a breakout, hit the stop losses of the people who had to sell in too early because they put their stop losses, Charlie. When they get in like this, people put their stop losses right here. They don't put it that high. And look where they went. They went right above it. So I can tell you right now, people are pissed because they're telling themselves after this drop, bro, I was right. I knew it. Even though I lost my account, I was right. And they'll talk about all the times. It's like a guy that played high school football and is now 45 years old, but still talks about all the moments he had in high school football. It's like, cool, dude. Your moment passed like fucking 30 years ago. You're done. Move on. Nobody cares. Like, that's literally what that is. You have to start getting used to knowing that they are wanting to manipulate your account. They want you to lose. And this is how they do it. If you see equal highs like this, expect another push up to hit stop losses and then wait for that push down. Wait. All this told me was that this was the peak, right? They're not going back down. They're not going back up. They're not. USD CAD in simple terms is going to go like this. Maybe not that low, but it is going to go boop, skidoop. It's going to go to a recent high right there. That's the ADR low. That's it. That's it. They're going to accumulate this. You can call this a chart pattern. One other term for it would be a descending triangle, a descending wedge. If they do this, if they do the hedge, it's either going to play out like this and they're going to just drop, or just like they did here, right? Just like they did the stop hunt, they're going to go boom, 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 stop hunt high, drop. And they're going to hit the stops. So don't get too excited. I've done this. Don't just be like, it's going to drop. I'm waiting for it. You have to wait for hard pushes in the opposite direction that is making you, like, if your gut is telling you that, oh, they're pushing hard up and your mind, your initial instinct is to buy, that's where they're trapping you. Literally. They're trapping you in the first initial move. It's moving up very fast. Everyone thinks they're going to buy. So they start buying with fear of missing out, FOMO. They don't want to miss out on money. So they'll buy it thinking because of how hard it is. And then the very next candle, this happens. So, and this is a CAD pair. So Canadian pairs are like GBP pairs. GBP pairs and Canadian pairs are the exact same. They move the exact same way. They throw a lot of divergence. And when I say a lot of divergence, I mean they throw a lot of stop hunts. They do this shit 24/7. Those pairs specifically. So in my opinion, what I'm expecting is a stop hunt high to take out this high quickly, maybe, or retest it, and then they're going to tank. So I'm not trading this. And look what the RSI is. Do you see a shark fin yet? No. So what do you got to wait for? And this is on the hour. Let me go to the 15-minute. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. I don't see a shark fin yet. Do you guys see a hard push like this? Look how hard that push was. Bollinger Bands are tight. RSI pushes hard. Price moving out. Multiple pushes, more than 3. And then they go skirt, drop. Do you guys see that yet? I don't see any hard pushes. Can it drop still? Yeah, and this is where the mind fuck comes in, because people start trying to guess. Like, is this the moment where it doesn't do a stop hunt, and does it sell? Do I sell now? Here, just make it simple. If it doesn't show you a stop hunt, if it doesn't try to induce you, just don't sell it. It's easier to take a position knowing that you waited for the clear evidence that they are trapping traders versus hoping that they might not trap and you got in early and you're gonna brag about it that day and how you made money. Wait for the right setup. Be consistent. There's no rush. Forex markets are not going anywhere. You know, it's like actually one of the only markets that it's economy proof. The market could crash today. There could be absolutely nothing going on. Like all the economy can collapse. And guess what? Cotton will still be on the market. Water will still be on the market. Commodities, gold, silver, they're not going anywhere. You're still going to be able to day trade. The only thing that's going to be different is the value of the currency in which the country you're in. That's it. But you're still be able to trade. So be patient. Wait for those setups. You want to be able to take a trade knowing that you can close your eyes at night and go to sleep. If you are taking a trade and your eyes are wide open, like you just popped the molly and you're freaking like your eyes are dilated and you're sweating, you don't know what to do. That's not a good trade. You're gambling. You're in Vegas right now playing poker and you've never played poker before and you just went all in. That's what you're doing, hoping that you make it out. That's bullshit. Your Forex is like counting cards legally. If you can actually learn to make the market work for you, it's like you're counting cards. No one's going to stop you. Maybe the brokers. We come back after they are liquidated and we cash in hard. Yep. You got that right. I would see GBP USD. Yeah, I'll go over GBP too. So you guys know what to expect on UCAD tonight. Stop hunt high, drop. And eventually, literally, after I'm done talking and you guys are on here long enough, because right now, I'm only doing this once a week for the group. If you guys want into the private group, like join AlignedFx, we're coming out with a whole new package deal. And it's not to like bring you guys over. I still utilize the dashboard, but it's to give you guys the knowledge I'm talking about right now. Enough times, if you listen to what I'm saying enough times over and over again, you're going to be spitting the same fucking words I'm saying. And eventually all I'm going to have to do is this. All right, guys, what are we looking at? Okay, it's going to be a stop hunt high and drop. And that's it. And you're going to be like, oh, I know why he said that. And then that's it. Like that's in my eyes, if I were to just do this in a very, very, very simple way and not go into any detail, I would just go through all the pairs right now and tell you based on what I'm looking at, stop on high, drop. And I wouldn't even go into why. In my mind, this is how I do it. But for the sake of the chart analysis and for the sake of the people trying to figure out how I look at the market, I'm doing a little bit more in-depth stuff. So let's go to the next pair. You said GBP USD? So where's that? Okay, that's got a peak formation high from 5 days ago, or low, I'm sorry. But it looks like it took out some highs. We got the, let me go to the day, let me go to GBP. Does that make sense? You guys understanding everything I'm saying so far? Am I speaking over your heads? Because I can try to dumb it down a little bit more, but I swear I feel like I'm dumbing it down as much as I can. I don't want to sound too smart. Just after years of looking at the market, you get used to it. What the shit is this? Bunch of goobity gop. Okay. I'm going to start the monthly because I don't know what I'm looking at. No manipulation. It's clearly a downtrend, but that could have just been a stop hunt. See this? Look at this. Same shit. Equal lows. What did they do? They took out the equal lows and made a new low. And then what happened after they made a new low? They reversed. That's one thing. It's fractaled on every single time frame. Everything is the same, right? So I got that. Let's go to the weekly. Ooh, you know what I'm seeing right here, right? This was a
Yeah, I see it.
yeah, that was beautiful. So just like you. Okay. Now they got some highs taken out here. I don't see any sign on the weekly that this is dropping yet. Mind you, the first thing I look for is divergence. I look for price to start being overbought, oversold, just starting to see what's gonna go happen on. And right now the weekly's telling me that everything is still bullish. The only thing that we would have to pay attention for is pullbacks to the downside, because you don't want to enter in now just because it's bullish. You will get stopped out. All right, I'm starting to see some divergence here in the daily. The only thing is it's not solid. Like, it's not hard pushes, it's not manipulation. All this is telling me, right? And here's another thing you guys can learn. When the RSI, let me draw this out. See how the Bollinger Bands are tight like this? They're like super tight. When that happens, price tends to consolidate in the general direction that it's going, right? So here's a training session. This 50 line right here, see how it says 50 right here? That 50 line is the water. The 50 EMA and the 50 line in the TDI are the same. If price is above the 50 line on the TDI and price is above the 50 EMA, you are looking for buys. If you are selling, you are predicting a reversal, and that is where you are going to lose a lot of money. So this is buys. Now, getting back on point, if I see that price is above the 50 line and the RSI and the Bollinger Bands are getting tight, the volatility bands, aka the Bollinger Bands, when they get tight, all that tells me is there's no volatility. Look at this. See how they're wide open right here? See how they're open? And look what price did in between right here, going up. What did price do? It moved. Look at all that movement. That is movement. That's volatility. Now what happens is when it gets super tight, price tends to get stuck. Now the RSI is the candles. Price will do this. And as it's doing this, price is doing this. Very, very small movements, not big movements like that, you know? It's very, very gradual. And it's going up gradually because the TDI, the Bollinger Bands are above the 50. And the same thing for down beneath. Let me see if I can find an example for you guys, other than right there. So let me go back in time. Look, right here, perfect. Where'd it go? I just lost it. Right here. See this? Look how tight this shit is. And look, it's above the 50, right? So here's the 50 line. The Bollinger Bands are mega tight. And look what price did. Skirt, 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 skirt. Like for a whole month. This is 1 month. And then do shit. And then what happened? The volatility bands opened up right here. And look what happened right after that. Big push. Big push, big reversal. Big reversal down. So it tells you a story. You just have to learn how to look at the story. So the 4 hour. We have a higher high. Basic Forex tells me if we have a higher high, what does that mean? Higher low. You want to look for a pullback. So because of how this is set up, this is a higher high. If this is going to continue up based on a higher time frame perspective, then this is just a higher low. Now, mind you, I was looking at a bullish movement overall on the weekly. So even though I might be right on a weekly time frame that could go up here, this might take 4 weeks to a month to hit this Mayo. So you have to be able to fractalize it down to realize that if I want to catch that move up to that Mayo, I have to be prepared for price to take a slight pullback on a higher time frame, right? Which on a lower time frame is a 100% reversal, but on a bigger time frame, that reversal is a pullback. So you have to know when to look for it. So if this is going to continue up, we could be seeing a reversal here where it goes down to hit this 200 EMA. And then when price hits it, we could see that price return back up. Okay, so we have to be careful. We have a shark fin, we have a big push up. So all this indicates to me right now is that they hit some high, they hit the equal highs, and they're going to want to reverse. So GBP USD, if it's going to go up again, I think it needs to shoot back down maybe one more time to manipulate. But I'm not liking this pair. Like I'm going with my gut right now. It's not like my favorite thing to look at, just because of how it's set up. I like the other pairs. I like AUD USD the most, to be honest, so far. And I've only done three pairs? AUD, NZD, AUD, yeah, 3 pairs. Eventually, I'm going to go faster. All this is telling me is I think GBP USD is actually going to consolidate. I think it's going to get stuck between these EMAs like this. I don't think it's really going to do anything tonight, in my opinion. I think it's going to wait till like Wednesday, Thursday for midweek reversals. And the midweek reversal would be the push back up. And yeah, it's beneath all that. I think if it does do anything tonight, if it does move, it's going to be like stop, hunt high, drop. So we'll see. It's not my favorite pair. It's not the cleanest. I wouldn't recommend it. So, but I definitely recommend AUD USD and USD CAD. Let's go to GBP AUD. Damn. It's a lot. All right. So we got a peak formation high. GBP AUD right here. Okay. So this low wasn't broken yet. That's a significant low. See this? This was the last low before price really pushed up high. I would need to see a big push. So right now we're actually seeing it. Right? I'm on the 30 minute. This is actually setting up nicely. Now, mind you, GBP AUD is a London Asian session pair. So the false move could be like this. This is what I would look for if I want to trade this. Right now, it looks like a sell. Let me go to this. Oh, and look at this. What do we see? Divergence. What does divergence mean? Inverted M or divergent M or the head and shoulders. This is head and shoulders. So if I'm going to be taking a sell, price needs to do this. What does price need? Could someone guess? If I want to sell, what do I need to see? What do I need to see? Somebody. Stop on high. Hey, it's cheating. But yes, you're right. We need to see a stop on high. I need to see a hard push, man. It's not, there's no shark fin. Do you see a shark fin? I see the start of a potential shark fin, but I need to see price shoot. Give me a push up. And when that pushes up, so will this. Shark fin, double top, drop. Very, very simple. So I like GBP AUD. And mind you this, because AUD, see how it's GBP first and then AUD second? And I liked AUD USD for a buy. So typically, if AUD USD being the first, AUD being the first part of the AUD USD pair, if AUD USD goes up, I'm looking for GBP AUD to go down. And it's the same thing. So I'm looking for a stop hunt low on AUD USD for a buy and a stop hunt high on GBP AUD for a sell. Make sense? Cool. And where's my take profit? First places I'm taking putting my take profit are recent low or blueberry or ADR low. You got your 3 take profits right here. That's all you need. Stick to what's guaranteed. And if this is going to be a reversal, guys, which it looks like it is, this ADR low is going to be for sure. And it might not do it tonight. It might go up, stop on high, and then drop, and then tomorrow drop going in. But I can tell you that it's going to, this is what I'll be looking for. So who said something? And over by zone, we kill it so good. Perfect. You get it. All right, next pair. I'm flying through these now because I'm beating a dead horse if I keep responding. Oh, GBP cat. Dude, these are all looking good. I want to trade them all tonight. I want to trade them all. I wish I had like $1 million right now. Just put it on fucking 50 standard lot size on there and go to sleep, wake up to $250,000 tomorrow. GBP CAD. This is just like, man, this looks better than GBP AUD. And the reason I say that is because what do we see on GBP AUD? I did not like the fact that it didn't take out that low yet. It hasn't touched it. So this could consolidate or it could drop, but it didn't take out that low. It's not a guarantee. Now, GBP CAD, on the other hand, look at this. It took out the low. It broke it, man. It fucking broke it. So this is a safety trade. I mean, look, man. Again, price going up. RSI overbought, shark fin. Oh, damn it. Going down, down. It is perfect. So what am I waiting for? It's doing it right now. Look, the RSI is showing it's going up. So what are we waiting for? Stop hunt high, most likely to this Mayo, for a shark fin to go back down. First take profit, low. Second take profit with the blueberries right there. I would just take it to the low. I mean, because GBP moves fast. Look, if it goes from up here, let's say it goes up and retests this low, because markets sometimes retest lows of structure that it hit or broke through. So let's say it goes up there and hits it, or up here to this previous day or this day's low. 60 pips, man. That's all you need. You don't need a crazy amount. You just need to capture what's guaranteed. And what's guaranteed on this drop? A retest of the low. That's it. So we're looking for a stop hunt high, sell. Shark fin out of water, sell. All right. Euro Chief. I'm only going to do the check marks, guys. That's it. Oops, wrong button. All right, so what was that one? Euro Chief. So we got a peak formation high just off of this. I don't really like it. It's not certain. So let's look at it. And it's 3 days per peak formation high. So yeah, I don't really like this pair. All I see is this. I just see traps coming. The EMAs are tight. Mind you, remember how I told you when the EMAs are wide, price tends to move through. Look what happened, right? Price was in a downtrend. When it was at its widest point, price reversed. And it went through the EMAs. Now, I think what we're coming up on for this is a reset. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of movement from Euro Chief. I think it's about to just get stuck in here like this. I think it's just going to get stuck. So if you guys decide to get ballsy and trade this, remember this: sell high, buy low. That's all I'm going to say. So next one. Euro AUD. Peak formation high 4 days ago. Not the best. That's like where my limit is. I don't really tend to go past that. If I do trade those, it's continuation, but I like capturing the moves after reversals because those are called safety trades. Those are guaranteed. So, okay, this one's looking not bad. It's not divergent, which is one thing, but let me see if it looks like on the 15-minute. Is that a divergence right here? Yep. Okay, so our head and shoulders isn't a multi-day head and shoulder. This is a smaller one, which is also acceptable. You just have to know when to recognize it. And cool thing is, we have a dashboard that shows us it, and we just got to verify it. Does the work for you. So, divergence. Damn it. Break this. You have price going up. You have price going down, overbought, shark fin, solid. So there's your head and shoulders. It dropped, formed a new low, came back into the institutional zone. And when I say the institutional zone, I mean right here. See this point? See this last bearish candle before it went up? That is the start of the institutional candle right there. So if we go back and we zoom out, we're going to see that price got right near it. And one could even say it can go lower than that. But it essentially went up into that institutional zone where price was last manipulated. And look at this smaller fractal version. This is equal highs right here. See the equal highs? They're right there. What did it do? Broke the equal high as an institutional candle, took out the stop for the early sellers who were on a 1 minute time frame thinking that somehow this is a fucking double top and they're going to sell it. And they hit the stops, hit the buy of the sellers, activated buy stops for people that are looking to break out trade, and then they reversed it. That's manipulation. Every time you find manipulation, they are not going to go back to it. They're not going to, because that's a final move. That is a final move before they decide to go the opposite direction. Now you have to count how many days they're going to do that. Now we've seen this. This is level one. We have the break of structure right here because this is the last point. Level one push, retracement. Level two push, got broke of structure. Now we're looking to set up for level three. So that means we're going to be seeing another peak formation soon. If this is specifically an uptrend, which it is clearly an uptrend, we're going to see two things. Either a peak formation low get formed to go back up, or it's going to continue down. And this is where you have to kind of be careful. It's either going to, or continue down like this until it gets to this blueberry, which if you guys know the EMAs are fractal versions. That blueberry is this Mayo. See that? I'm going to circle this. I'm going to actually highlight it so you can see it. So I'm highlighting the 4-hour 200 EMA, which I call the Mayo. And if I go back down to the hour, oh, it's the blueberry. It's the same thing. They're all fractal. So that's just how I'm able to really structure trades because they all correlate. And then the daily is when it starts getting off a little bit, but the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute EMAs are all correlated. So this 15-minute blueberry is the 1 hour Mayo. And this 15-minute Mayo is this 1 hour water. The higher time frame is just the next EMA up. That's all it is. It's fractal. So I think because first off, I don't see any major divergence telling me that this is going to go up. I don't see a head and shoulders. I don't see a W. So what happens when you don't see these peak formations? What do? Your first instinct is to continue in the direction that it's going until a peak formation is formed. And since the last peak formation that was formed was 4 days ago, and there's no other signs of it to go back up, you're looking to keep selling. You're not going to go back up. You're not going to buy it. It's immature. It's inexperienced. But what are we going to look for? This. Push up. Stop hunt high. Wait for a shark fin. Come back down. Simple. Simple stuff. So now that's your chief. That's one. And your where's your take profit? You're doing it at the recent low. Or if this is actually solid, you guys could actually swing this. This would be, if it does what I think it could do, this could be a swing trade down to this point. But trade at your own caution. Don't just, I'm not a financial advisor, you know. So let's go to, oh, 3 people hopped off. There's only one more person on. I'm going to do one more pair because we've been on here for over an hour. Yep, I'll do Euro USD and then I'm done. Peak formation high. T4. I don't like it. I don't like it. Fine, leave. Just kidding. See you soon. The only reason I don't like this pair, one reason only. It is ranging. Up, down, up, down, up, down, down. You know, there's no nothing. You have a high here and you have low here and you have a low here. Like it's not, everything's going crazy. So I would just avoid this until we see some clear direction. I wouldn't even trade this, but all right. I'm going to finish here. Not everybody decided to hop off because we've been running for a little bit, but I'm going to post this into our private group chat for anybody that sees this and is like, you know what, I want to actually take a look at this. I want to get further detail and actually, you know, enter into what we're doing. Shoot me a message. We'll get you guys started in AlignedFx. We're going to be doing these chart analysis every night, starting tonight. And we're going to pretty much rock it. We're going to see how everything goes. It's going to get simpler as time goes on. So the longer you stick around, the more you'll start to understand. And I think all of you guys are going to have some fun. So with that being said, I'm going to stop the recording and I will see you guys on the next video if you guys are going to be here with us. So thanks for hopping on. Bye.